the first 5 digits, and then it has the first 5 are the letters, and then we have digits, and then finally the last is also letters, also a letter. Okay. So to validate this PAN number, we actually need to understand the logic behind the validation. How are we going to validate? For once, there should be a null check. Okay, if the number is null, if the input is null, we're gonna straight away return false. Okay, we can return false. Else, what else? If it's not 10 digits, again return false. And I think finally it should have a combination of letters and digits. As you can see, letters being A, B, C, D, E, and digits being 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's also throw in F here in the letters. So we need a combination, and this will be a pattern that basically we can check against. If let's say if the given PAN number matches this pattern, we're gonna return true. If it doesn't, we're gonna return false. Oh, to make you understand better, we can take a look at this whiteboard. Let's try and understand. Let's see, this is our PAN number here. As you can see, this is our PAN number. Just gonna a little bit maximize it a little bit, and then I'm gonna have curly braces basically for this purpose. As you can see, this one is letters, and then we have another right here. I think this would be your numbers. You got the numbers. Okay, and then finally we have a letter. If you have to see the length, I have to assign the length. I'm going to say maybe plus 5. And we also got numbers. So these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, D, E. So these first 5 characters are called letters. The followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 digits, which I'm calling numbers, and the last one is again letter. Okay, so let's see if I want to validate this. I'm gonna maybe see if this is your input. Okay, let's consider this as an input. So I'm gonna call it maybe a string equals to PAN number. Okay. So initially what we're going to do is you're going to do a null check, right? Let's see. So basically this is our input, and this input will go to here. We will do null check, and length check. Okay. Now we have two ways. Basically it's gonna go two ways, right? If it is true, which means that the input string is either null or the length of the string is less than or greater than 10. In that case we return false. If it does, actually this should be yes. And if it's no, then we'll go to rejects. Rejects is the pattern that I was talking about. Then the string will go to rejects. We're gonna match against this pattern, and if it doesn't match, we're gonna return false. If it matches, then we're gonna return true. And that's basically what we need to do. And based on this logic, now I'm gonna try and do the coding. So we need a function that would need a PAN number that would accept a string, which is public static, and it's going to return boolean because we are returning either true or false, which means the function is going to return a boolean value. So I'm gonna make this a boolean function, and the name would be, let's say, is valid PAN, the string that accepts a PAN number. Okay, next we're checking whether it's null, and you're also checking the length. So if let's say string dot I'm checking is null or white space. Okay, we're talking about PAN number, or the length of the pan number is not equals to 10 straight away in both cases. We are doing, I'll check in now, length, return false. Or length not equals 10. Okay, just a little correction. So in that case we're returning false. If not, and we will compare it against a pattern which I called a regex pattern. Which is basically this. We are expecting the first 5 characters to be letters, next 4 to be digits, the last one to be again a digit. Finally we're going to use regex and whether it match with. So this regex function basically needs 2 arguments. One is your input and another one is the pattern. This is our pattern and here is the input. So I'm going to give the input first, comma, then I'm going to give the pattern next, and that's it. Now, you know what, we can just return this regex. I'm going to save this. So this is basically the code, the logic that we basically was able to implement based on this whiteboard logic. So I hope you can understand better with this whiteboard explanation. And now the most interesting part, we're gonna run some test cases, and I'm gonna use Copilot to generate some n-unit test, including edge cases, to validate what we are validating the function, the is valid pan. And we hit enter and we wait for Copilot to generate test cases. And once we have those test cases, we're going to review them one by one to see whether they are actually good test cases. Let's see. Okay, we got something. Let me just see what we have got. So we got the first, it's a valid pan, returns true. So this is a valid pan number, so the result should be true. This is a null string, so the result should be false. And this one is a empty string, returns false. So as you can see from the name of this test, it's pretty straightforward. In the arrange, you will see the input. In the act, we'll get the result calling the isValidPan function that we just implemented in class problem1 underscore pan number. And in the assert, we are basically asserting the result with what the result should be. In this case, it should be false because empty string should return false. Next test, we have white space string, which should be again false. Less than 10 characters should return false. Okay, this is good. More than 10 characters should return false. Okay, good. Lowercase should return false. Okay. Digits in first 5 positions returns false. Letters in middle 4 position. Okay, A, B, C, D, E, 1, 2, A. Okay, this doesn't work. Okay, this should be false. Digit in last position, again, this one is also not accepted. Special characters false. Mixed case valid. Okay, so we got lowercase in between, should also be false. So we're gonna just run our tests. Here you can see this is the text explorer. I have opened it. As you can see, problem1 test, and under this test you will see all the tests. isValidPan test, and we're gonna just basically run this, wait for the results. Hopefully all tests should pass. If our logic is right. Okay, all tests are passed, which means the logic was right, and this is how you solve a given problem. And yeah, if you want to solve more problems, basically I would encourage you to keep practice, and actually you can follow my series. This is the first problem. I'm going to be solving 100 most asked coding problems for QA and SDETs. So make sure that you follow and code along with me to basically ace your technical interviews, and I'm sure it's going to help you.